This is an overwhelming win on the debate stage, but most importantly, President Trump is focused on not only winning this November, but bringing success to the American people, returning to the effective policies that we saw under President Trump's first term, securing the border, unleashing American energy independence, standing up for hardworking families who have been crushed by Joe Biden's inflation from the trillions of dollars of reckless spending.
When it came to anything having to do with ordinary people, he reminded us that this man wants to do the only thing that he's ever done, and that's focus on people like himself. That's why he passed a tax cut that went to the richest of the rich on the backs of ordinary, working class, poor people, middle class people. We passed a tax cut, the largest tax cut for middle and working class people in American history. He's trying to divide us. And we've got to make sure that we stand up as a nation, stand up for the American covenant, e pluribus unum, out of many, one, and we should always be afraid of somebody who's telling us to be afraid of each other.
To be frank, there were times I couldn't understand what he was saying. Thank God we had that closed caption. I don't know how those guys did it. But there were times I couldn't understand what he was saying, to be fair. Maybe he was saying something brilliant and very astute, but I couldn't understand it. So I think that was a problem. But look, I think voters saw it. I don't think there's any spinning out of it. And again, you know, I think it's a dangerous thing for our country. But I want to go back to the core, and the core of this is the country was better off when Trump was president. Whether you like everything he says or not, that's the bottom line, and that's how most Americans are going to end up voting, is who are they better off on? But I also worry about who's actually calling the shots in the White House. It's hard to believe that the man I saw on stage tonight, and look, I didn't serve with Joe Biden in the Senate, okay? But I was around when he was vice president. I even watched a video today of 4 years ago to today. I mean, it's just painfully obvious. I don't want to be cruel about it. It's just a reality. But I do worry that our adversaries will read into it that they can make decisions. And you have to ask yourself, like, who's actually making decisions on a daily basis in the White House? Because I don't think the person we saw tonight could be involved in the details of governing at this point, from what I saw.
The substance of the issue was simple. We have somebody that is bragging about the fact that he took Roe v. Wade away from us, whereas we know the next step. They've gone after mifepristone. They want to go after contraception. And unfortunately, in the state of Texas, they're talking about instituting the death penalty. What the American people have to decide is that they're going to choose themselves. This election isn't about all of the lies that Trump is selling you. What it's about is the facts. The facts are that he took that right away from us, and he wants to take more rights away from us.
Border to figure out which one's closed, which one's open, and they can look at the crime. Yeah, I mean, I think there are probably 10 to 15% of American voters who have not made up their mind. If you were watching this debate, you're voting for Donald Trump. It's one of the greatest contrasts between two politicians I've ever seen in my life. The dominance of Donald Trump was undeniable. And that's why the Joe Biden camp started putting up that he had a cult. They're looking for a way to cover the tracks before the debate was over. That is a telltale sign, undeniably.
If we are unfortunate enough to put him in the White House again in 2024, it would be an unthinkable tragedy. This man has one policy position, and it's to keep himself out of prison. We saw tonight that he does nothing but lie. Do not let the fact that he lies loudly and with impunity blind you to the fact that he is a traitor to this country. We have seen him betray this country, and we know that the people who know him best cannot support him because of that. I've known Donald Trump all of my life. He's the same man now as he was when I was a child. He's incapable of changing. And if we let him anywhere near the levers of power again, that would be one of the worst mistakes this country could ever make. And I believe at that point, the American experiment would be over. We must re-elect President Joe Biden. Thank you.